Okay, guys, it's me, Kelly Nicole. Welcome back to another episode of Beauty by Kelly Nicole. Tonight is a different video. I'm doing a little chatting. I'm kind of wide open. I just finished doing this makeup tutorial, and instead of going to wash my face off right away, I decided to film this video because it's been on my mind for a couple of days. I should have filmed it a long time before now. But tonight just kind of, I guess it kind of set the tone for the video based off of a conversation that I just had over the phone. And as you can tell from the title above, we're talking about heartbreak. Heartbreak. I guess from time to time, if you guys want me to, I'll come on camera and just run my mouth and share and talk about different things. Or if you have a specific topic that you want me to talk about, then I'll be more than happy to talk about it. Because moving forward, my channel will not just strictly focus on makeup tutorials, hair tutorials, and or product reviews, but I want to kind of like venture off into other different areas and see how it goes, and to see if I can reach other people. You know, that's the whole purpose behind YouTube and social media, is to be able to connect with people from around the world. And you know, when I see the different types of individuals that watch my videos, I have been making waves in areas that I have not even been able to travel to, which is just amazing within itself. But let's get into it. Heartbreak. Hold on one second. Okay, I apologize, but anyway, heartbreak is a topic of discussion, and I basically want to talk about how to deal with heartbreak. Unfortunately, I've had to deal with heartbreak on more than one occasion. For my 28th birthday, I wrote a blog on another blog that I'm working on, which is called Confessions of a PK Heiress, where I kind of share, you know, life experiences, advice for Christian believers, young people in Christ, or whatever the case may be. If you want to know more, link is in the bottom bar in the description box. But anyway, it was 28 years, 28 lessons. And one of those lessons was, number one, to be careful with whom you love. And heartbreak can be avoided. And the reason why I say that heartbreak can be avoided is because it rides off of the back of be careful on who you love. Meaning be careful with who you give your heart to. Be cautious about who you love. Be cautious about who you give your heart to. I've always been the type to be the helpless romantic. I absolutely love and adore romantic comedies and romantic films where there's two people that fall in love with each other and they just whisk away into the sunset and everything is okay. I guess as a kid, I liked the fairy tale story too, where Prince Charming rode in on a white horse and he kissed his fair maiden and they got married and they lived happily ever after. But what the fairy tales don't tell you, and what some of the movies don't tell you, is that there will be heartbreak in the midst of all of that, either before, during, or after. So how do you deal with heartbreak? Because I've experienced heartbreak on several occasions, for me, the first time was there's nothing that there's not one heartbreak that has occurred since the first heartbreak that has been able to match the first one. The first one was always is the worst, and probably will be the worst, because it's a feeling and it's an emotion that you never experienced before. So you're having to figure out a way to get past the heartbreak, to get over the heartbreak, to get past the pain. And I remember with dealing with my first heartbreak, I just didn't know how to function. I was crying every other day. You would have literally thought that somebody had died. That's how much I was crying. That's how bad I was crying. That's how messed up I was about the situation. And it was a lot of other things that weighed in on that, and there's a lot of other things that factored into that. But I think the heartbreak hurt more than what else was going on. I've always been very resilient, and I've always been able to bounce back, kind of like a fighter. But anyway, we won't get into that. But I was able to keep moving and to keep going. And that's the number one thing. If you want to get over heartbreak, you got to keep moving. You've got to put yourself in a position where you're going to keep going no matter how hard it gets. I mean, as a result of heartbreak, I know for me, there are some days when I don't want to get out of the bed. Or if I'm experiencing heartbreak, I don't want to get out of the bed. I don't want to eat. I can barely sleep. It's like, what is going on? But one thing I've been able to do is to keep pushing myself to keep going. You have to pick yourself up. You have to keep going. Find something that you like to do and do that. Focus on doing that. If you have a business that you need to work on, a business that you're trying to start, focus on starting a business. One thing that I do whenever I break up with someone, because usually when I'm in a relationship, I'm usually focused on that relationship. Not saying that I don't take the time to spend it with friends and family, but my time with friends and family may become a little limited. And over the years, I've worked on trying not to make it so limited, trying to have an equal balance. So here in most recent years, when I meet somebody, I try to incorporate them into my family life. So it's not like they're strangers to what's going on. Because for me, family is everything. So most recently, when I broke up with my ex, here lately, what I do is I spend a lot of time on the weekends with my family, because I was so comfortable with him being around in my space at all times. And then it was just kind of like, this is kind of weird. It's kind of awkward. It's kind of uncomfortable to be alone in this space. So I surrounded myself with friends and family. So I'm hanging out with friends and family. It keeps your mind off of your heartbreak. It keeps your mind off of your situation. So first things first, you want to keep moving. Stay active. You don't want to sulk. You don't want to stay in that position where you're not getting out of the bed, because I know that's the first thing for me. I just want to go to sleep. I could sleep away the pain. I don't want to get up. That's the first thing. But I kind of have pushed myself over the years to kind of just get up and go. Because I've experienced it more than one time. And then you want to surround yourself with friends and family. Surrounding yourself with friends and family is going to keep you busy, and it's going to keep your mind off of it. The next thing that I've done over the years is, I have a tendency to hold on to things that I don't need to hold on to. So whenever there's something that will remind me of the person, like a gift or something, I usually get rid of it. For some people, that may not work. They may not feel like that's sufficient. What's the point of getting rid of it? It was a gift. I feel like this: clean out my space and make room for something new. Because another point that I made on the blog is that your first love won't be your last or your only love. For me, cleaning out my space and getting rid of items and things from a previous relationship clears out my space to accept new love and a new positive energy. So it's important for me to get rid of it so that I can accept something new. So clean out your space if that's something that you desire to do. Find a hobby. If you don't have a hobby that you currently enjoy, find a hobby. Become active in your community. Volunteer. Volunteering and giving back to people that are less fortunate or that are in need or in need of a smiling face is going to make you feel better, and it's going to take your mind off of your heartbreak. Heartbreak over a period of time is going to get better. It's going to get easier. Before you know it, it's going to be like, oh, I can't believe I was crying over that person. He wasn't even worth my tears. It's just kind of like after what that comes with time. It's not going to happen right away. It comes with time. Because I've experienced heartbreak on different levels with different people, I've learned how to express myself concerning my heartbreak. I know my most recent relationship, I was really heartbroken behind it. I know it probably, to my family and maybe my friends and probably even to him, it didn't seem like I was heartbroken. It probably just seemed like, oh, she was just ready to get rid of me. No, I was heartbroken. But I think from this situation, it had just gotten a little bit too overwhelming over the period of time. And it's just like, okay. But I was still heartbroken. And I was able to, I kept it to myself. I kept those feelings inside. I tried not to dwell on them. Like I said, I kept going. I shifted my focus. Started focusing on things that I should have been focusing on. I surrounded myself with friends and family and all the things that I mentioned before. So it kept me busy, so I didn't have to sit and dwell on my heartbreak. But I was able to later admit that I was heartbroken behind the situation, and it did hurt, which is a natural human emotion. It's okay for you to be upset and hurt when you break up with somebody. It's okay for you to feel defeated if you feel defeated. It's okay for you to feel however you feel. We're humans. We're entitled to those feelings. We are entitled to those emotions. But what I'm encouraging you to do is to not dwell there in that place, because if you dwell on the heartbreak, if you dwell on the issue, if you dwell on the pain, it's just going to prolong itself, and then you'll end up probably dealing with depression and things of that nature, and then that leads to other serious issues. Now, back to what I said earlier about heartbreak can be avoided by being careful with whom you love. Everybody does not deserve a position in your life. Okay? And what I say when I say that is for the ladies, every guy that you meet is not boyfriend material. He's not supposed to be your boyfriend. He's not going to be your boyfriend. You have to take the time out to get to know the person before you start to attach a title. And this is for anybody and everybody. You have to take the time out to get to know the person before you attach a title to that person. You meet a person, you like them, you vibe with them, and then automatically you hang out a couple of times, or you do what you do, and then y'all in a relationship, but you know nothing about that person. What I've learned is to take your time getting to know the individual, finding out things about that individual, knowing what your deal breakers are, taking the time back to scale back and pull back from the situation and be an individual from the outside looking in, so that you can see things that you don't see when you're in a relationship. And that will help you to get to know the person before you start to jump in a relationship and get your emotions involved and get all caught up. It's so easy to get caught up in your emotions and let your emotions control you. And now you're 2 years down the road and you don't know why you feel the way you feel about this person, or why you're going through what you're going through with this person. It's because you didn't take the time to get to really know the person. So heartbreak can be avoided if you're careful and you're cautious with whom you love. Everybody does not deserve a position in your life. And that goes friendships, business relationships, whatever. Take the time out to get to know the person beforehand. From my experience and having to have dealt with heartbreak on more than one occasion, that's a lesson that I had to learn, was to take my time and to not rush and to not automatically assume when I meet a guy, if he like me, I like him, we supposed to be in a relationship, we supposed to be together. Just because we vibe on the same level, we have common interests, does not mean that we're supposed to be together. So heartbreak can be avoided, but in just in case, if you haven't been able to duck and dodge or avoid heartbreak, in the sense of what I'm trying to say, you can get over it. You can get past it. And the reason why I can say that is because I was able to get over my heartbreak, my broken heart. It's disappointing when you invest time and you invest energy and you invest feelings and emotions with the individual to find out that either those feelings and emotions are not reciprocated, or it just doesn't work out. But as I said on my blog, your first love won't be your only love. So love will come back around again through another person, in another manner, in a different manner, in a way in which you don't expect it. And the only way to receive that love is to clean out that space. Not only, when I say that, I'm not just saying physical things, but I'm also talking about emotional and eternal things. So your heart has been broken. You need to give yourself time to heal before you jump into another relationship or you jump into another situation with someone else. You need to give yourself time to heal. You got to clear your heart out, give it time to heal before you jump into something different, because you'll just continue to you'll take that heartbreak, you'll take that pain into another relationship, and then that person is paying for the mistakes of that previous person, which that's never a good thing to do. So I hope in the midst of my rambling, I think what I probably need to do is make a list of some bullet points or some notes or something. I hope that you were able to get something. I hope that it helps somebody. But just know that if you're dealing with heartbreak right now, every day gets better. Time will truly heal all wounds. Years from now, you'll forget that person's name. And you'll see them out and about and you'll feel nothing. So just know that it'll get better, and let things work themselves out. So hopefully, I hope it helped somebody, some way, some shape or form. Okay? So like I said earlier, if there's anything specific that you want me to talk about, if you want to email me for advice or whatever the case may be concerning this topic, my email address will be in the description box below, and you can send me an email and we can talk about it. Or if you want me to pray for you, I can do that too. So yeah, peace, blessings.